Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding all your clothes have vanished, along with every piece of fabric in the world. No stores to run to, no ready-made garments to buy. Your only option? Creating everything from scratch, just like our ancestors did thousands of years ago. Picture yourself wandering through fields, carefully selecting and gathering plant fibers, or perhaps shearing sheep for their precious wool. Would you know which plants yield the strongest fibers? Could you tell when's the perfect time to harvest them? These were just some of the crucial skills our ancestors mastered through generations of trial and error. The fascinating journey from raw fiber to finished garment is a testament to human ingenuity. Our ancestors didn't have YouTube tutorials or instruction manuals. Instead, they developed sophisticated techniques through observation, experimentation, and persistence. Many of these ancient methods are still fundamental to modern textile production, though we rarely stop to think about them while picking out clothes from our wardrobes. What's truly remarkable is how these early innovators discovered that certain plants, when processed just right, could yield threads strong enough to be woven into durable fabrics. They learned to recognize the subtle differences between fibers, understanding which would be best for summer clothing and which would provide warmth in winter. They developed complex methods of cleaning, preparing, and spinning fibers into thread, all without any of the modern tools we take for granted today. Before we delve deeper into this captivating journey through human innovation and creativity, make sure you don't miss any episode of this remarkable story. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to join us as we uncover the ingenious ways our ancestors shaped the world of textiles we know today. From the first twisted fibers to complex weaving patterns, every step of this evolution reveals something extraordinary about human capability and resourcefulness. Let's journey back 30,000 years to a time when our ancestors made a breakthrough that would forever change human civilization. In the limestone caves of the Republic of Georgia, archaeologists made an extraordinary discovery that revolutionized our understanding of prehistoric human capabilities. They found something seemingly simple yet profound: tiny, twisted flax fibers, carefully processed and manipulated by human hands tens of thousands of years ago. These ancient fiber fragments, discovered in the Judzuana cave, weren't just random pieces of plant material. They showed clear evidence of human modification, deliberate twisting and processing that required not only manual dexterity, but also a sophisticated understanding of natural materials. The fibers were colored in various shades: black, gray, turquoise, and even pink, suggesting that our ancestors had already developed knowledge of natural dyes long before we previously thought possible. This discovery completely transformed our perspective on Paleolithic human societies. Previously, many scientists believed that complex fiber processing and textile production emerged much later, perhaps around 10,000 years ago with the advent of agriculture. But these Georgian cave findings pushed that timeline back by an astounding 20,000 years. It proved that our Stone Age ancestors were far more technologically advanced than we had given them credit for. Think about what this means. During the height of the last ice age, while still hunting mammoths and living in caves, humans had already developed the intelligence and skill to identify suitable plants, understand their properties, and transform them into usable fibers. They weren't just surviving, they were innovating, creating, and developing technologies that would lay the groundwork for human civilization. These twisted fibers represent more than just the beginning of textile technology. They mark a crucial moment in human cognitive development, showing advanced planning, mathematical thinking, and an understanding of complex, sequential operations. To create these fibers, our ancestors needed to select the right plants at the right time, process them correctly, and apply specific techniques to transform them into usable thread. A process that required careful observation, experimentation, and the passing down of knowledge through generations. This revolutionary discovery in Georgia doesn't just tell us about when humans began processing fibers, it provides a window into the sophisticated minds of our Paleolithic ancestors, proving that the foundations of human technological innovation were laid far earlier than we ever imagined. It stands as a testament to human ingenuity and our species' remarkable ability to transform raw materials from our environment into tools that would ultimately help build civilizations. Let's transport ourselves back to a scene from the Paleolithic era, where the story of human craftsmanship begins to unfold. Picture a woman, perhaps in her 30s, sitting at the entrance of her cave dwelling as the early morning sun casts long shadows across the landscape. Her weathered hands, strong yet remarkably dexterous, move with practiced precision as she works with plant fibers gathered from the surrounding wilderness. This Paleolithic artisan, let's call her what archaeologists might name someone from her time, a master fiber worker, represents countless generations of knowledge. Her skills weren't learned from books or formal education, but through careful observation and years of apprenticeship under the guidance of elder women in her clan. Every movement of her fingers carries the weight of thousands of years of trial and error, success and failure, passed down through an unbroken chain of human experience. As she works, her fingers dance with the fibers, twisting, pulling, and manipulating them with an expertise that seems almost intuitive. But there's nothing simple about what she's doing. She knows exactly how much pressure to apply, how to maintain consistent tension, and how to splice new fibers into the growing thread without creating weak points. These are skills that took generations to perfect, skills that would eventually lead to the development of all textile technologies we know today. Around her, life in the Paleolithic community continues. Children play nearby, learning by watching her work. Young apprentices sit at her feet, their own fingers struggling to replicate her fluid movements. She is not just a craftsperson, she is a teacher, a keeper of essential knowledge that ensures her community's survival. The ability to create strong, reliable cordage isn't just about clothing, it's about survival. These threads will become hunting nets, carrying containers, and protective garments. Her work requires not just physical skill, but also deep knowledge of the natural world. She knows which plants yield the strongest fibers, when to harvest them, how to ret and process them properly. She understands how weather conditions affect her work. Humidity makes some fibers more pliable, while certain types of fiber work better in dry conditions. This knowledge, accumulated over generations, represents one of humanity's first scientific understandings of material properties. As the sun moves across the sky, she continues her work with patience and precision. Each thread she creates is a link in the long chain of human technological advancement. Though she couldn't know it, her mastery of fiber processing would lay the groundwork for technologies that would eventually lead to the development of entire civilizations. From the simple act of twisting plant fibers, humanity would develop the ability to create everything from fishing nets to sailing ships' ropes, from simple tunics to elaborate tapestries. This Paleolithic artisan, working at the dawn of human technology, represents not just a craftsperson, but a crucial link in the chain of human innovation. Her knowledge and skills, passed down through generations, would eventually transform into the complex textile technologies we rely on today. She stands as a testament to human ingenuity and the remarkable capacity of our species to observe, learn, and create. The technological advancements in textile production represent one of humanity's most remarkable achievements, marking our evolution from simple fiber processing to complex weaving systems. Let's explore this fascinating progression that revolutionized human civilization. The evolution of fiber processing techniques began with simple hand-twisting methods, but quickly grew more sophisticated. Our ancestors discovered that different fibers required different handling techniques. They learned that flax needed to be retted, soaked in water to break down unwanted tissue before it could be processed. They discovered that wool needed to be cleaned and carded before spinning, and that cotton required careful separation from its seeds. These discoveries led to the development of specialized tools, spindles for creating thread, combs for preparing fibers, and eventually the revolutionary spinning wheel. The invention of the loom marks perhaps the most significant technological leap in textile history. The earliest looms, dating back to around 6000 BCE, were simple horizontal ground looms, basically two beams between which threads were stretched. But the real breakthrough came with the development of the vertical loom around 4000 BCE in Egypt. This innovation allowed weavers to create larger pieces of fabric and more complex patterns. The introduction of the heddle, a device that raises and lowers certain threads, revolutionized the weaving process, making it possible to create more intricate designs and work more efficiently. Natural dyeing techniques represent another remarkable chapter in textile innovation. Our ancestors discovered that certain plants, minerals, and even insects could produce vibrant, lasting colors. They learned that indigo plants could create deep blues, madder roots could produce rich reds, and certain shellfish could yield the highly prized Tyrian purple. These weren't simple processes. They required complex chemical understanding, even if our ancestors didn't think of it in those terms. For example, they discovered that indigo only releases its blue dye through a fermentation process that transforms the pigment into a water-soluble form. What's truly remarkable is that many of these ancient dyeing techniques survive today in traditional communities worldwide. In places like Oaxaca, Mexico, artisans still use cochineal insects to produce brilliant reds. In Japan, traditional indigo dyers maintain centuries-old techniques for creating their famous blue textiles. In Morocco, artisans continue to use traditional methods to create rich yellows from saffron and pomegranate rinds. The development of mordants, substances that help dyes bind to fibers, was another crucial breakthrough. Our ancestors discovered that certain materials like alum, iron, and tannins could make dyes color fast, preventing them from washing out or fading in sunlight. This knowledge was so valuable that recipes for specific color combinations were closely guarded secrets, passed down through generations of dyers. These technological advancements weren't just about creating beautiful textiles. They were fundamental to human progress. They enabled the production of stronger ropes for construction and sailing, better clothing for protection against the elements, and more efficient methods of creating textiles for trade and commerce. If you're captivated by this journey through textile innovation, we'd love to hear which ancient weaving technique intrigues you the most. Would you like to learn about tablet weaving from ancient Viking times? Or perhaps the intricate backstrap weaving techniques of the Mayan civilization? Leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your curiosity might inspire our next deep dive into these fascinating ancient technologies. The remarkable thing about these technological advancements is that they weren't just improvements in efficiency. They represented fundamental shifts in human understanding of materials, processes, and the natural world. Each development built upon previous knowledge, creating a rich tapestry of technological innovation that continues to influence our world today. The development of textile production wasn't a uniform process across ancient civilizations. Each region faced unique challenges that shaped their textile traditions, influenced by geography, climate, and available resources. This diversity of challenges led to remarkably different solutions, creating the rich tapestry of textile traditions we see throughout human history. In River Valley, civilizations like ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, the fertile soil and consistent water supply created ideal conditions for growing flax and cotton. The Nile Valley, in particular, became renowned for its fine linen production. However, these civilizations faced their own challenges. The processing of flax was incredibly labor-intensive, requiring precise timing for harvest and complex retting procedures in the river waters. Too little soaking would leave the fibers too tough to process, while too much would cause them to rot. In contrast, highlands and steppes regions faced entirely different challenges. Without suitable conditions for growing fiber crops, these communities turned to animal fibers like wool and goat hair. The nomadic peoples of Central Asia became masters at processing wool from their sheep and goats, developing techniques to deal with the varying qualities of fleece throughout the seasons. They learned that spring wool differed significantly from autumn wool, and that young animals produced softer fibers than older ones. Coastal regions developed their own unique approaches. In the Nordic regions, for instance, communities often combined wool processing with plant fibers harvested from coastal plants. They even developed methods to process fibers from certain types of seaweed, creating unique textiles suited to their maritime environment. However, the salt air and humid conditions posed constant challenges for fiber preservation and processing. In tropical regions, the abundance of plant fibers came with its own set of difficulties. The high humidity could cause fibers to deteriorate quickly, and vibrant insect life meant constant threats to stored materials. These civilizations had to develop sophisticated storage and processing techniques, often incorporating natural insect repellent materials into their storage systems. The challenges of textile production weren't limited to material acquisition and processing. Each region had to develop tools suitable for their specific fibers. While a spindle whorl perfectly balanced for spinning wool might be useless for spinning cotton, communities had to experiment extensively to develop tools that worked with their local materials. This led to an incredible diversity of spinning and weaving technologies across different regions. Trade routes added another layer of complexity to these regional challenges. As textiles became valuable trade commodities, communities had to develop methods to protect their products during long-distance transportation. Desert traders had to shield delicate fabrics from sand and sun, while maritime traders needed to protect their cargo from salt spray and moisture. The preservation of textile knowledge posed another significant challenge. In many societies, textile production techniques were closely guarded secrets, passed down through generations within families or guilds. The loss of even one skilled artisan could mean the loss of crucial knowledge about specific techniques or processes. This led to the development of various systems for preserving and transmitting knowledge, from apprenticeship systems to the use of pattern books and samples. Climate change and seasonal variations presented ongoing challenges. Communities had to adapt their production methods to changing weather patterns, developing techniques to process fibers in both wet and dry conditions. They also had to create storage solutions that would protect raw materials and finished textiles from environmental damage throughout the year. Perhaps most remarkably, these ancient civilizations didn't just overcome these challenges. They transformed them into opportunities for innovation. The limitations of their environments pushed them to develop increasingly sophisticated solutions, leading to the rich diversity of textile traditions we see across human cultures. Their struggles and successes continue to influence modern textile production, reminding us that innovation often emerges from necessity and that different challenges can lead to equally valuable solutions. Looking back at our ancestors' textile practices reveals a profound understanding of sustainable resource management that holds valuable lessons for our modern world. Their approach to textile production wasn't just efficient. It was inherently sustainable, circular, and deeply respectful of natural resources. Ancient textile makers operated on a zero-waste principle long before it became a modern environmental movement. They understood the precious nature of every material they worked with, developing ingenious ways to use every part of their resources. When processing flax, for example, Even the shortest fibers that couldn't be woven were used for making cord or rough cloth. The waste products from processing became animal feed or fertilizer, creating a perfect circular system. Their dyeing practices particularly showcase this sustainable mindset. Ancient artisans developed sophisticated understanding of local plants, minerals, and insects that could produce colors. They knew exactly when to harvest each plant for maximum pigment yield, how to combine different materials to create new shades, and how to make their dyes color-fast using natural mordants. These techniques required minimal water usage and produced biodegradable waste products that often served as fertilizers for future dye plants. The seasonal nature of their work demonstrates another crucial lesson in sustainability. Ancient textile producers worked in harmony with natural cycles, harvesting materials at optimal times and adapting their production methods to seasonal conditions. They understood that waiting for the right moment to harvest meant better quality materials and less waste. This patience and attention to natural rhythms stands in stark contrast to our modern demand for immediate, year-round production. Their approach to garment construction also offers valuable insights for modern sustainable fashion. Ancient clothing was designed to be durable, adaptable, and repairable. Garments were often created with extra fabric at the seams, allowing for alterations as needed. When fabric finally wore out in one area, it was patched, repurposed, or even unraveled and rewoven into new items. Nothing was ever truly waste. It just transformed into something new. Modern sustainable fashion designers are increasingly looking to these ancient practices for inspiration. The use of natural dyes is experiencing a renaissance, with designers rediscovering the subtle beauty of colors derived from plants like indigo, madder, and weld. Some fashion houses are even reviving ancient techniques for processing fibers, finding that these methods often produce stronger, more durable textiles than modern mechanical processes. The ancient practice of working with local materials is another lesson being embraced by sustainable fashion. Just as our ancestors used materials available in their immediate environment, modern sustainable designers are increasingly focusing on local fiber sources and indigenous plants for dyes. This not only reduces transportation emissions, but also helps preserve local textile traditions and supports regional economies. Perhaps the most important lesson from our ancestors is their understanding of the relationship between quality and sustainability. They knew that taking time to properly prepare fibers, carefully spin threads, and meticulously weave fabric resulted in textiles that would last for generations. This focus on quality over quantity offers a powerful counterpoint to modern fast fashion. The ancient practice of passing down garments through generations also holds valuable lessons. Textiles were seen as precious items to be cared for and preserved, not disposable commodities. Special garments were often stored carefully and passed down as heirlooms, a practice that some sustainable fashion advocates are trying to revive through concepts like capsule wardrobes and investment pieces. Water conservation techniques used by ancient dyers are particularly relevant today. They developed methods to minimize water usage in dyeing and processing, often reusing dye baths multiple times and finding ways to extract maximum color with minimal water. These techniques are being studied by modern textile producers looking to reduce their water footprint. The ancient understanding of biodegradability offers another crucial lesson. All their materials, from the fibers to the dyes to any decorative elements, would eventually return to the earth without leaving harmful residues. This stands in stark contrast to many modern textiles that can take centuries to decompose and release harmful microplastics into the environment. As we face growing environmental challenges, these ancient practices offer more than just historical interest. They provide practical solutions for creating truly sustainable fashion. By combining this ancient wisdom with modern technology and scientific understanding, We can develop new approaches to textile production that honor both our planet and our need for beautiful, functional clothing. The revival of these ancient practices isn't about moving backwards. It's about recognizing that our ancestors' deep understanding of natural processes and materials can help us move forward more sustainably. Their legacy reminds us that true sustainability isn't just about using eco-friendly materials. It's about developing a holistic understanding of how our choices impact the entire ecosystem. In one of archaeology's most remarkable discoveries, the Atacama Desert has yielded an extraordinary collection of ancient textiles that has revolutionized our understanding of prehistoric American civilizations. The extreme aridity of this Chilean desert, the driest non-polar desert in the world, has preserved textiles that are over 7,000 years old in remarkable condition, providing us with an unprecedented window into ancient textile technology. The Chinchorro people, who inhabited the Atacama coastal region, developed sophisticated burial practices that included wrapping their dead in intricately woven textiles. These ancient fabric specimens represent not just the oldest textiles found in the Americas, but some of the oldest known textiles in the world. The exceptional preservation conditions of the Atacama Desert have allowed these fabrics to maintain their structural integrity, color, and even some of their flexibility after thousands of years. What makes these discoveries particularly fascinating is the level of technical sophistication they reveal. The ancient weavers of the Atacama region had mastered complex weaving techniques that we previously thought emerged much later in human history. The textiles show intricate twining patterns, sophisticated yarn preparation, and advanced color manipulation through natural dyeing processes. Some pieces even display complex geometric patterns that required careful planning and exceptional skill to execute. The fibers used in these ancient textiles tell us a remarkable story about resource utilization and trade. Analysis has revealed that the Chinchorro people used a variety of plant fibers, including cotton from both wild and domesticated plants, as well as animal fibers like camelid wool. This diversity of materials suggests they had established trade networks and sophisticated knowledge of different fiber properties and processing techniques. One of the most surprising aspects of these textiles is their use of color. Despite their incredible age, some pieces still retain vibrant hues, providing evidence of advanced dyeing techniques. The ancient artisans used various natural sources to create their dyes, including minerals, plants, and even marine resources. The preservation of these colors tells us about both their technical expertise and their artistic sensibilities. The weaving techniques preserved in these ancient textiles reveal a level of mathematical understanding that challenges our perceptions of prehistoric peoples. The complex patterns found in some pieces require an understanding of sophisticated numerical concepts and careful counting, skills that were clearly well developed in these ancient societies thousands of years before the development of written mathematics. What's particularly remarkable is how these ancient textiles have survived. The Atacama Desert's unique environmental conditions, extremely low humidity, high salinity, and alkaline soil, created perfect preservation conditions. These conditions, combined with the careful burial practices of the Chinchorro people, have allowed these textiles to survive as time capsules of ancient technological achievement. The discovery of these textiles has also provided insights into the social structure of ancient Atacama societies. The quality and complexity of the burial textiles suggest a society that placed high value on textile craftsmanship and had the resources to dedicate significant time to developing and practicing these skills. Some researchers believe that the complexity of the textiles may indicate social status, suggesting a more structured society than previously thought. Modern analysis of these ancient textiles continues to reveal new insights. Using advanced microscopy and chemical analysis techniques, researchers have been able to identify specific fiber processing methods, dye compounds, and even evidence of ancient repair work. These findings show that the ancient weavers not only created these textiles, but also understood how to maintain and repair them. The influence of these ancient textile traditions can still be seen in modern Andean weaving. Many of the techniques preserved in the Atacama textiles are still used by traditional weavers in Chile and Peru today, representing an unbroken chain of textile knowledge spanning thousands of years. This continuity of tradition is a testament to the effectiveness and sophistication of these ancient methods. Perhaps most significantly, these ancient textiles challenge our assumptions about the development of human technology. They demonstrate that complex textile production wasn't just a development of later agricultural societies, but was already well established in hunter-gatherer communities. This suggests that the history of human technological advancement is far more complex and nuanced than we once believed. These remarkable textile discoveries from the Atacama Desert continue to provide new insights into ancient American civilizations. They stand as a testament to human ingenuity and creativity, showing that sophisticated textile technology was part of human culture far earlier than we once imagined. Each preserved thread tells a story of ancient innovation, artistic expression, and technical mastery that continues to inspire and inform our understanding of human history. As we reach the end of our journey through the remarkable history of textiles and natural fibers, let's take a moment to reflect on the profound legacy that continues to touch our lives every day. The simple act of getting dressed each morning connects us to an unbroken chain of human innovation that stretches back tens of thousands of years. Every thread in your clothing, every weave in your fabric, carries within it the echoes of countless generations who gradually perfected the art of transforming raw fibers into the textiles we know today. Think about this. When you put on your favorite piece of clothing, you're participating in a tradition that began in ancient caves, where our ancestors first twisted plant fibers into usable thread. You're connecting with the innovative spirit of those early humans who discovered that certain plants could yield strong, flexible fibers. You're sharing in the triumph of ancient artisans who developed the first looms, created the first dyes, and established the fundamental techniques that would shape human civilization. This journey through textile history reveals something profound about human nature: our remarkable ability to observe, learn, and innovate. From those first twisted fibers in Georgian caves to the complex weaving traditions that developed across continents, each advancement in textile technology represents countless hours of experimentation, learning, and teaching. These skills were passed down through generations, refined and improved upon, creating the rich tapestry of textile traditions we inherit today. The story of textiles is more than just a tale of technological advancement. It's a story of human creativity, resourcefulness, and determination. It's a reminder that some of humanity's most significant innovations came not from sudden breakthroughs, but from careful observation, patient experimentation, and the gradual accumulation of knowledge over generations. As we look to the future, these ancient lessons become increasingly relevant. In an age of fast fashion and synthetic materials, the sustainable practices of our ancestors offer valuable insights for creating a more environmentally conscious textile industry. Their deep understanding of natural materials and processes provides inspiration for modern innovations in sustainable fashion and textile production. If you've been captivated by this exploration of humanity's textile journey, there's so much more to discover. Join us at the Dawn of Humankind channel, where we continue to uncover the fascinating stories of human innovation throughout history. By subscribing, you'll gain access to regular content that explores the remarkable achievements of our ancestors, from their earliest tools to their most sophisticated technologies. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to ensure you don't miss any episodes in our ongoing exploration of human ingenuity. Share this video with friends who appreciate the intersection of history, technology, and human creativity. Join our growing community of history enthusiasts and help us celebrate the remarkable journey of human innovation. Remember, every time you handle a piece of fabric, you're touching a piece of human history, a testament to our species' incredible ability to transform raw materials into tools of survival, comfort, and beauty. Together, let's continue to explore and celebrate these remarkable achievements that have shaped our world. The dawn of humankind is your gateway to understanding humanity's greatest innovations. Subscribe now and become part of this exciting journey through time, where every discovery tells a story of human ingenuity and every innovation reveals the extraordinary capabilities of our ancestors.